last weekend's game against New York City FC, what are some of the things that you guys are working on defensively as a back line, particularly to try to stop those late game situations where you might leak in a goal or two?
No, yeah, I think last week we were good. The first 70 minutes we were very compact, and then we kind of lost our shape towards the end. So we just have to make sure that 90 plus minutes we keep that shape, and that'll help us a lot in the future. So let's try to keep and focus on that, on keeping the shape for the full game.
Thank you, Paul. Let's go over to Jamin Moore.
Hey, Paul. Thanks for taking the time to join us today. A lot of us at the beginning of the season felt that right back was a big hole on this team, but I have to admit, I think you've been kind of proving us wrong. You've been very consistent this season. Had you heard, people saying that before, and has that been any sort of fuel for you? And what do you think you need to do in order to take your playing level up another notch this season? Thank you.
No, I think the more I play, the more I'll help the team. I think there were people who were playing before me who did were doing good jobs. So I just waited for the right opportunity, and then I'm taking it, and I hope the result can help us in the future. Better result, then for sure the team getting better. I'll get better, and for moving forward is gonna be everything better.
Thank you. Let's go to Fabian Rankel.
Hey, Paul, thank you for your time today. The CCL final is tonight. All right, first question, are you going to watch it?
Yes.
Okay, what would it mean to you if you played in a game like that, and what would you think it would mean to your team? Thank you.
Well, that's a good question, but I think, especially being on the CONCACAF side, I think playing Champions League, it's a dream for everybody, obviously, and being in the final, getting a cup, I think that's the main goal as a player. You want to win cups, you want to have trophies, so no, it would mean a lot. It's a dream.
Thank you, Paul. Let's go back to Alex Morgan.
Hi, Paul. Thanks for taking another question. I'm curious, what are some of the specific things you've identified about the Colorado Rapids that you're looking out for this weekend that could be dangerous, that you're trying to mitigate?
You want me to tell you our game plan before we play them?
Exactly.
Well, no, I think we're gonna focus on ourselves. There's a couple things that we need to fix offensively and defensively, and we're gonna approach the game like every other game. And right now, we're trying to really focus on ourselves, getting the structure right, and then everything will come our way.
Thank you. We're going to take two more questions. Jamin Moore.
Thanks for taking another one, Paul. So you guys went toe-to-toe with NYCFC last week for about 70 minutes, where you held them scoreless after they had scored 11 goals in the previous couple games. First, what do you think went right in those situations that allowed you to do that? And secondly, what do you think happened that kind of broke things down a bit there? And how do you take what you were successful at into this next game? Thanks.
Yeah, I think a big thing was in first half what we done really well is the pressure. We had a high pressure. We recovered a lot of balls. They had no time on the ball. And then in second half we lacked of that pressure, that intensity. We didn't put enough intensity, and we could not control the ball anymore. We were just giving it back, and then we just it was like being under siege for 35 plus minutes. So without the ball, we're a team that, I think any team without the ball, you're struggling, and it was tough. And then losing that intensity didn't help.
Thank you. Our final question comes from Fabian Rankel.
Hey, Paul, thank you for taking another question. So the topic of the week was kind of some players in San Jose possibly changing nationalities to go ahead and play for a different national team. But I wanted to ask you, being French and also feeling American, if you had the choice, what would you choose? Thank you.
Well, I have to say I would choose France. I was born and raised in France. I lived most of my life in France. And the US have been a very welcoming country for me. So I would probably just stick to France. But in terms of my fellas, I don't know what they will do in the future.